So developing a vaccine, okay, for prototype, developing a vaccination for COVID-19 at the initial stage will be a prototype. Similarly, when we want to develop the software for the first time, okay, we need to go for this type of model, which is called as prototype model. So when this model is used, see, there are few points. I will just brief those points. So this model is used, okay, when one thing is when there are complex requirements, when the system is complex, okay. Secondly, it is used when the limited requirements are available. It means we do not have complete requirements during the development. Third thing is that here we need to interact with the customer. We need to interact with the customer every time and collect the requirements from customer, different types of customers, okay. And then we have to build a dummy version of a software. After developing that dummy version of a software, we have to give this software to the customer for using, okay. And later the customer will again give us the feedback whether his requirements are implemented in the software or not. If not, then again the developer has to collect the fresh requirements or the errors that are there in the software, and then again need to build the new software. For example, as I gave you, developing a vaccination for COVID-19, right? So what is the initial stage or the challenge for the scientist? First, develop the vaccination, and then first perform the trial on the animals. So after performing the trial on the animals, the scientist will get some result. So depending on that result, whether they will get an idea whether they are successful in creating a vaccination or there is some fault in the vaccine. If the scientist observes that there is some defect in the vaccine, again they have to create or reproduce the vaccination, isn't it? So prototyping models are like that. So developing prototyping is nothing but what? Adapting to the changing requirements of the customer and redesigning the software again and again until the customer is satisfied with the software or all the requirements of the software are obtained. Okay, so prototyping is all about development of a model, okay, by interacting with the customer, right, and building the software, okay, until the customer satisfaction is obtained, right? Okay, so how do exactly this model works? So I will tell you through this diagram. Suppose let us take one example. Now I will give you another example. Okay, suppose we want to develop a software, right, for library management. We want to develop a software for library management, right? So developing a software for library management, is it a complex task or easy task? Yes, anybody who will answer me? Developing a software for library management, is it easy or complex? Is it easy or complex? Developing a software for library is easy or complex? Who will tell? Yes, I can see that 53 participants are there. Anyone can reply. Whether it is easy or not to develop a library software, it is easy. It is not more complex. Okay. When we want to develop a library software of your college, but just imagine Google Library. Just imagine Google Library. Is it easy task to implement Google Library or update Google Library daily? No. It is very complex task. Why? Because every day the Google is updating new things. It is adding new things, isn't it? So for example, if I go to Google, okay, and if I put my name there, SNEH, okay, so if I put my name there, so it will show everything that is available with the name. But if I tell something like this, Sneh Nagaonkar from Nippani, so if that information is not available on the Google, what it will do? It will say that this information should be included. So immediately the Google, what it will do, it will update its library. This is how the Google is working. It is so fast, it is so dynamic, it is, or you can say, the Google is adapting to the changes at every instant. So this is one of the example of prototyping. Okay. So now coming back to one more example. For example, we want to develop a sensor. Okay, so what we want to do, we want to develop a sensor, and in that sensor what we want to do, we want to know whether the virus is nearby to us or not. We want to develop a sensor, and once when just like digital watch, if I place that sensor on my hand or wrist, I should easily know what type of viruses are surrounded to me. If I want to develop this new software and I want to develop a new sensor, so this is a complex. So why it is complex? This is a new approach, isn't it? So this is a new approach. So when I want to develop such kind of software and sensor hardware, what I have to do? First, I have to meet all the doctors, okay? And I have to collect all the information that is related to COVID. After collecting that information which is related to COVID, and after studying that virus and symptoms of COVID, then only I can go for designing the software for my sensor. Once when I have all the information depending on the virus symptoms. See, sometimes earlier what were the symptoms of COVID? The symptoms of COVID were cough, sneezing, fever. Okay, these were the symptoms. So considering that symptoms, what I did, I went for quick designing. So in that designing, I took a sensor, okay, and that sensor will tell me about temperature changing, okay, changing temperature or human body. So I developed, or we developed a sensor where it will just find out the body temperature of a human, and if the sensor finds that the body temperature is out of normal, if it is above 100 degrees Celsius or if it is above 38 Fahrenheit, so it means it is considered as fever. So after that, what I will do, after making a designing for that, modeling quick design. So modeling will add the final touch to this design, and then it is ready. So in construction of prototype, what I will do, I will write the code, I will test the code. And after developing that sensor, okay, in that sensor, I will dump my software and I will give that sensor to the customer for using. So once when the customer will use that sensor, the customer will tell that, okay, I'm having fever, but I don't have cough or I don't have what? Sneezing. I don't have cold. Your sensor is capable of identifying only the fever. So is catching the fever, whether it is the only symptom of COVID? No. So that's why what will happen? Here my design will fail. So here my first prototype is going to fail. Then what I have to do? The customer will give me feedback that your software is only, or your sensor is only catching what? The symptoms of fever. So your sensor is only catching the symptoms of fever. So because of that feedback, what I have to do? Again, I have to collect that feedback from the customer, and then again I have to redesign the coding for my sensor. In this sensor, what I will include now? I will include, okay, the sneezing, okay, and coughing atmosphere or factors that will give me some information about sneezing and coughing. So after making that design, again what I will do, finalizing the design, and again I will write the code. Now after writing this code, okay, suppose this is the second design now, second prototype, okay, second version. So after developing that, what I will do, again I will give this software for the customer. Now what the customers, a few customers will start using that prototype. Okay, they will start using that sensor which is embedded with our software. So this sensor is now successful to catch the symptoms like fever, cough, and along with that sneezing also. Okay, but there is one customer who is having nothing. Okay, but still that customer or that person is having COVID. So again our system fails here. Again our sensor and our coding fails. Now that is the new reason to go and redesign the software again. So here there are few customers, or you can say that few patients who are having no symptoms. So at this moment, what our sensor is going to do, whether our sensor is going to work or not. So sensor basically is designed to catch the three symptoms. One is sneezing, coughing, and another is fever. What if the customer, okay, or what if that person is having no symptoms? So you know the software Arogya, this one, right? We are using a software that is Arogya Setu. Okay, so in this software, just see how they are implementing that. So here they are using the GPS, they are tracking the information, and there is one more test called as what? Self-assessment test. So we can include that in our sensor, that is self-assessment test. So that will be my next version. So in this version, what I will do. So students, am I audible to you? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
I can see only one, I think only one girl is replying. What about the 55 students, those who are here? See students, this is lunch time. Hope you are not having lunch by keeping the sessions on. So I'm explaining you very important things. So please be concentrative and be interactive. Okay. All right. So where I was, so now I go and develop the third version, and in that third version we include something like Arogya Setu. It means this is for the people who are totally asymptomatic. But what is the new updated thing in our version now? One thing we can ask is whether you had interacted with any person, one who is having COVID. This will be our new updation. So suppose we give that new software to our customers. So here, so we have four things. One is catching a symptom like fever, cold, sneezing, okay, and whether you came in interaction with a person who is having COVID. So these are the four factors which we got. So yeah, so after this, we gave this to the one more customer, but still our system failed. Why this failed? So the customer said that I went for self-assessment. I do not have any of these symptoms, but I have one more symptom, that is failure of smell and taste. So this is the new symptom of COVID, okay, which is arising, which do not, the person could not smell properly or could not taste properly. So these are the 4 to 5 symptoms which are observed recently. So we include that, and then finally what we do, we give this new final latest version, which is the 6th version of our software. So in this way, guys, the prototyping is going to work. Okay. So prototyping ದಾಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ, ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ಸ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತ ಹೋಗೋದು. ಸೊ ಯಾವಾಗ ತನ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಯಾವಾಗ ತನ ನಿಮ್ದು ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಕಸ್ತನ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, you have to take all the requirements and then you have to go on designing and developing. When this process is going to stop, this process will stop only when the final requirements of the customer are obtained. Now considering that we have collected all the information, then we went for designing 4 times. Okay, first time we developed a code in the sensor which will tell about only fever. Second time, what we did, we developed a design which told us about fever, sneezing and coughing. Third sensor told us about what? Arogya Setu self-assessment. Fourth time prototyping, it also included about loss of taste and smell. So fifth prototype is the successful model now. Are you getting that? So fifth time we were successful. Okay, so at the last moment we became successful to develop our model. All right, so in this way the prototyping works. Okay, so that is the reason the name is given as evolutionary. Evolution means what? Adapting to the changes. So when this type of prototyping is used when we have complex systems. Secondly, when the requirements are totally new. Okay, at that time prototyping model is used, guys. So prototyping is asked so many times in the exam. So I told you through example, but in exam you don't need to write an example. Okay, so or you can write an example like developing a new sensor, okay, to identify the symptoms of COVID. So you can write this as an example, but no need to write in the exam. You can just explain prototype model. You can tell where, you can highlight this where it is used. Okay, then you can go for block diagram, and then you can go for phases of prototype model. So in phases of prototype model, see, these are nothing but the phases: communication, quick design, modeling of the quick design, construction of prototype. So here what you do, you finalize the design, and here you go for coding and testing, and here the system is ready to give back to the customer. But what is added extra here, you need to collect the feedback every time. So how long the feedback is collected? The feedback is collected until the software is developed completely. Okay, so these are the phases. Okay, modeling, quick design, development, deployment. Okay, Now, so these four phases, guys, which are those: initial communication, planning, modeling, development, and deployment. So above phases are repeated. Above phases keep on repeating. Okay. So as I gave you example of developing a sensor for COVID detection. So we developed, repeated this cycle for 4 times. We repeated this cycle for 4 times, and after repetition of 4 times, we were able to develop the final features for our sensor. So communication, designing, quick designing, coding and prototyping, testing and deployment. This keeps on repeating. This keeps on repeating. So how long it keeps on repeating? Until the final product is developed. So while writing the explanation, you have to write that above 4 phases are repeated. Okay, until we get the final product. So after that, one more phase is there, that is final product testing, deployment and maintenance. Once the client features or finalizes a prototype, on basis of that prototype, the final product is designed and developed. Okay, so this developed product is tested by the testing team. If it is ready to go live, the product is deployed and available for the end user. So what does it mean, guys? After developing the real prototype, once again we do the testing, and then only the system is provided for the user for usage. Okay. All right, now we'll see what are the advantages of prototype model. So one advantage is that, see, I will just brief it. You are in interaction with your customer all the time. It means the customer can share his problems anytime. So you take his problems and convert those problems into requirements and redesign the software every time. Okay, then. So once when we develop a prototype, okay, so as I told you, prototype means what? A new approach. When we want to develop new softwares or when we want to develop the complex softwares. So once when you become successful to develop that new software, you can use that new software for the other purposes also. Okay. So if there is any problem during the development of a software, easily you can interact with your customer and easily you can redesign it. That is also one of the advantage. Okay. Now, so here one more advantage is that at the initial stage, if the customer do not know about the requirements, if the customer doesn't know about the requirements, so that it is also the job of development team, okay, to gather the requirements and work on the requirements. So these are the 4 main benefits of prototype model, so which are also called as advantages of prototype model. Okay, so students, please keep on entering your name and register number. Okay. Yes. So what are the disadvantages, right? So every model will have 1 or 2 disadvantage. Okay. So it is time consuming. Yes, it is time consuming because it is used for complex softwares. It is used for live models. It is time consuming because it will give us a very good software, which will be a quality software, right? Next. So here the interaction with the client is needed all the time. All the time you need an interaction of the client here. The client must keep on interacting with you all the time. Okay. So it is difficult to find how much amount of time is required during the development. We cannot tell about the cost management here. We cannot do cost management at the initial stage. Okay. The cost may change, okay, depending upon the requirements of the customer, isn't it? When we want to develop a new sensor which will tell us about the COVID identification, how could I tell you the cost at the beginning? The cost will be identified only after development of the final product. Okay. Yes. So here similarly, sometimes the software or the architecture or the hardware requirements may also change. Okay. Initially, they may work with some software, hardware, and architectures, but after the development of the final product, sometimes they may change. Okay. All right. So see, as I told you, this is used for live and complex projects. So we also need a good team, okay, and good hardware and software and architecture team when we want to develop such kind of software with the help of this model. All right. So in examination, they may ask you that explain what is prototype. So at that time, just go through this. You can write what is a prototype model. These are the applications. Okay. These are the applications of prototype model. This is the diagram. Okay. These are the phases. and these are the advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so this model is asked so many times in the examination. Okay, so this model is very, very important, right? So any queries are there? Yes, if any queries are there, you can ask. Okay, if you don't have any queries, keep your mics on mute. All right. So we'll go for next model, that is called as a spiral model. Okay. Yeah. See, the name indicates as spiral. So what is meaning of spiral? So hope you know what is spiral. Okay, which is having so many loops. Okay, continuation of loops, right? See, this model is called as a spiral model. So this is also asked so many times in the examination. Okay, so this is also asked so many times in the examination.
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗುರ್ತಾಯ್ತು ಯಾರು ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಗುರ್ತಾಯ್ತು ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಟ್ ನ ಗುರ್ತಾಯ್ತು.
See, this session is not for communicating among yourself, students.
ಈಗ ಕೇಳಿ ನೋಡಿ ಈಗ ಕಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಹಿಂಗ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ ಏನ್ ಕಲಿಯೋದ ಆಡ ಅರ್ಧ ಆವಾಜ್ ಕೇಳ್ತೈತಿ ನೋಡಿ ಏನ್ ನಿನಗ ಆಕೆ ಆವಾಜ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಲೈವ್ ಐತಿ ಲೈವ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಐತ್ಲಿದ.
See, who is Honey? Honey, please keep your mic on mute. The person name with Honey, okay? Kaisa tait Honey ni matadida. Keep your mic on mute, okay? If you have any queries, you can ask me. Okay, all right. So this model is called as what? A spiral model. Okay, so you can see that this has got 4 phases. This is the first phase. Okay, determine objectives, alternatives, and constraints. So second phase is this: evaluate alternatives, identify and resolve risk. So this is the third phase, that is develop, verify, and move to the next level product. Okay, and this is the planning for the next phase. So these are the 4 different phases you can see. Okay, so these are the 4 different phases of your diagram. This is the first one, this is the second one. Okay, yeah, if any queries are there, Sangeeta, you can ask. Sangeeta Matapati, if you have any queries, you can ask, please. Okay, so these are the 4 phases. So while drawing this diagram, you have to just jot down the lines and then first find out the 4 phases. Okay, the first circle starts from here. Okay, so this is the first circle of your spiral diagram. Okay, and after that it moves, it keeps on moving. So why you can see that the loop format is created here. Each of the loop, okay, each of the loop is completion of one phase here. So this loop starts from one phase, it moves to second phase, it goes to the third phase, and it continues. It decides whether we have to move again. So this is just like a prototyping model. Okay, so here in prototyping model, what we do, okay, we keep on doing these activities, isn't it? Communication, designing. So same way, the spiral model also continues in this way. It starts from here, it completes all these phases, and then it decides whether we have to move to the next phase. Okay, so during completion, during this phase, it will go for requirement collection, data designing, coding, okay, testing, and it decides whether we have to move to the next phase again. So here this model is same like that. Okay, spiral model is same like that, only you can see that there are more number of loops. It is in the loop format. Okay, so this model, it is there in the loop format. So why the model is there in the loop format? What is the reason? Okay, so the reason is that whenever we have any complex system, okay, whenever we have any complex system, the phases has to be repeated. Okay, or the phases has to be repeated until and unless the customer has obtained the quality software, or the customer feels that he is satisfied with what software we have designed. Okay, so again I will take the same example. Okay, so in the prototyping also I told you an example where we were developing what model, right? Or we were developing a sensor embedded with the coding for detection of COVID-19. So suppose I want to use a spiral model here. Okay, see, the number of loops. Okay, so the number of loops depends upon what? The complexity of the software. So here the number of loops depends upon the complexity of the software. All these phases are repeated again and again. Okay, all the phases are repeated again and again until we find that the software which is required by the customer is obtained. Okay, so suppose we will take same example here. We will review the information from various patients who are having COVID. Then we make the analysis and then we develop the first prototype. So in first prototype, we embed coding only for detection of fever in this sensor. Okay, and then during that we develop some models and some benchmarks and simulations. Simulations are again what? Building the real small systems. Okay, building the small systems, developing the models and adding few details. Okay, that is called as benchmarks. Then after that we go for concept of operation. Means first prototype is the basic prototype. In this prototype we just do a trial when we don't have enough set of information. So here we develop a first basic system and then we gave it to the customer for usage. So here we will come to know that the customer have a lot of problems with this software. Why? Because the customer finds that the sensor is only able to detect the fever but not the other symptoms like coughing or sneezing. That is why we take the feedback from customer and then we again make the analysis. Okay, then we again study the system and then by taking that information from the customer we develop the second prototype. Then we design the software, then we go for validation of the software and then we go for coding in the development plan, and then again we will give that software to the user here. So here again the customer will tell us that okay, it is not able to identify the asymptomatic patients, the patients those who are not having any symptoms. How will your software identify that? Then taking that requirement collectively, what we do, we go for the third prototype. So in this prototype what we do, we add some coding like Arogya Setu where the self-assessment tests are added. And after adding that, we go for third prototype. We go for designing, validation, integration and testing. Then after that, okay, after that, the customer feels that, okay, so here we finally reach to a level where the customers are happy with our product. So here finally we get a correct information set and then we, whatever we move, okay, so here what we do is at the last stage where you are going to move, when we feel that the customer is happy with our software, so this will be the last phase or the last repetition of our product. Okay, this is the final stage, or we can say that this is the final cycle or final loop of our prototype. Why? Because we can see that we were successful in collecting all the information. We made an analysis, then we finally made an operational prototype, the prototype which is ready to use. So guys, you can see that after studying prototype 1, 2, 3, so 3 times it took us 3 prototypes to reach to our new sensor embedded with the coding which will provide us a COVID detection, right? So it took us 3 prototypes and then finally we succeeded in developing an operational prototype. So you can see that at the last loop, okay, this will be the last loop where the operational prototype will be developed, and then we go for detailed designing, coding, unit testing. So in unit testing, we test unit wise, then we integrate the software and we do integration testing. And then finally we see whether the system is ready to be installed or not. And then finally the software, our sensor, which is having a COVID detection, will come in the market. So are you getting? So this is called as what? A spiral model. This is also called as BOEM, B-O-E-H-M. Okay, BOEM spiral model, because this model was invented by BOEM. So remember that there are 4 phases, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so each loop is a collection of all the phases. One loop is collection of all 4 phases, that is objectives. Okay, then in this section it is all about analysis. In the third it is about deploying, developing the coding, and the last phase is all about what? Repetition. Okay, so this is all about BOEM spiral model. So we will see the advantages and disadvantages of this model in the continued class. So hope If you have any queries, you can just ask me the queries. Okay. Yes, if any queries are there, guys, please you can go through the queries. So see, this model is very, very important. It is asked so many times in the examination. Okay, it is asked so many times in the examination. So we may expect the prototype model, okay, or spiral model. Both comes under evolutionary models. Okay, these two models are a part of what? Your evolutionary process models. Okay, so evolutionary process models, okay, which are in the format of what? Repetition or looping. So if any queries are there, you can ask me. Okay, if any queries are there, you can ask me, please. No queries? So in the next session, again, we will start from here. Again, I will highlight what are the applications, okay, what are advantages and disadvantages of bow and spiral model, and we will move for the concurrent model, okay. So this will be like another 2 classes which will end your first unit, guys, okay. So another